Welcome, Scouters. Thank you for joining us for our Dan Beard Council Virtual Roundtable. I'm Joe Waller, Council Commissioner, and will also be joined by Council Vice President of Program, Bryce Lennox, Council staffers Kim Brunner, Michael Stammet, as well as Scout Executive Andy Zahn. This evening, we'll be covering items on program, tools units can use for virtual meetings, scouting at home, camping updates, and some general announcements. Finally, Andy Zahn will give us some closing comments, and I'll wrap us up and adjourn our meeting. Next up is Bryce Lennox, who's going to cover our program section.
Hello, Scouts and Scouters. My name is Bryce Lennox, and I am the Vice President of Program for the Dan Beard Council. Just wanted to take a few minutes and talk about advancement. I know many of you are wondering how to make sure that Scouts in your troop get the opportunity to actually have advancement and earn the ranks that they have been working on all year in light of the coronavirus and how it has impacted not only Scouts but everyone in the United States and in the world. There's certainly difficulties presented by all the closures, the shelter in place, the social distancing, and other issues caused by the spread of the coronavirus. Advancement can continue, and we are here to help facilitate that. So wanted to highlight a few temporary accommodations that the council is providing during this time, as well as some creative solutions, quite frankly, that you can use at any time in scouting. First, Cub Scouts can continue to work on their current ranks until July 31st, 2020. So there's an extension of time on that. And during this time, parents and other adults in the Cub Scout family or another trusted adult, they can sign off on Webelos and Arrow of Light requirements. And just to keep in mind that for Lions through Bear ranks, the parent, adult partner, or any other trusted adult can always sign off on requirements in a Cub Scout handbook. As for Scouts BSA and Sea Scouts and Ventures, you can actually do quite a lot and quite a bit can be accomplished remotely. We already see a lot of troops hosting meetings through video chats or through Facebook Live or through Zoom, which is what we're using right here for this video conference. The same tools can be used to help Scouts advance. Scoutmaster conferences can be accomplished through video conferencing or telephone calls. But when doing that, just obviously remember that the rules of youth protection and the guides to safe scouting will still apply, even if it's in a virtual setting. So please make sure to check out the guides to advancement for all advancement do's and don'ts, and keep going with your meetings and advancing. Once again, youth protection is always paramount in these. Make sure to familiarize yourselves, with the policies surrounding youth protection in a digital realm and with digital communications and the cyber chip program. Now, lastly, let's talk about Eagle Scouts. I know many of you have Scouts who have been impacted by a lot of these closures, be it at schools, be it at parks, be it at churches. And for some Scouts, these closures may cause an Eagle Project or a merit badge not to be completed by their 18th birthday because of coronavirus. If that's the case, and if you have a Scout that needs an extension due to the coronavirus, they'll need to follow the same procedures to request the extension, but the Dan Beard Council will have the authority to grant it locally. Those Scouts should continue working on those requirements that they still can during the closures and cancellations. For your reference and your help, a question and answer document explaining these accommodations, as well as some other helpful tips, is posted on the website. One of the ways that we can help Scouts advance is through online merit badges. And so we are rolling out, and we're going to start with a cooking online merit badge, and we'll continue to add options as we are able to recruit coordinators and counselors. Once again, you can find more information on the website about virtual merit badges. And if you or someone in your troop would like to help provide counseling or the like for a merit badge, please let us know by emailing us at program@danbaird.org. Finally, you'll probably remember that a couple years ago, the Boy Scouts of America released a new youth protection training program. For many of you, that training will be up for renewal here very soon. and everybody's training, quite frankly, will expire this year. So please make the time to renew your YPT before it expires. And as always, leader training modules are always available at my.scouting.org. Now with the shelter in place, maybe a very good time to get caught up on some of that training. And with that, I'll turn it over to Ken Bruner.
Well, good evening, everybody. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Ken Bruner, our Director of Development and Marketing. And part of what we wanted to be able to share with you today is a number of resources for our scouting units out there to continue scouting activities from home and virtually. Now, I'm already really impressed. I've heard so many stories already of several of you out there who have already been implementing so many unique methods to continue scouting, whether that's through online pack and troop meetings or activities at home and more. So that's fantastic. So we wanted to quickly share a few resources that others are also using. So if units are interested in conducting meetings, whether that's a committee meeting, a den meeting, or a unit meeting for all of your scouts, there are a few really good resources and free resources that are out there that are available for you. A few of these include Zoom. That's a product that we're actually using here this evening. There is Cisco WebEx. It's another good one. Google Hangouts is one you could use. Skype. Uber Conference is another. And freeconferencecall.com is kind of an old standby for audio conference needs. So all of these that I just mentioned have free resources and free accounts that your unit can use in order to conduct meetings however you see fit. Now, with each one, there are free accounts that have limitations, of course. So for example, with Zoom, you can have 100 participants, but the maximum call time is 40 minutes. Actually, I was doing some research today, and Cisco WebEx just updated their free accounts to allow 100 participants, and there is no time limit for those calls. So look into each of them and see which one is the best fit for you. We've posted all of them up to the website with links on there and a brief description of the free features that come with each one so that you can figure out what might work best for you. One additional item that I wanted to make sure to specifically talk about was Facebook Live. That is another option that people might be considering. And so Facebook Live is a really cool way for you to easily share and post a live video in real time of something that you are trying to share onto Facebook. It's easily accessible for most parents these days, and it might allow you to do a live meeting or something of that nature with all of your scouts. Something to keep in mind with Facebook Live is that it's going to be more public than the other options that I previously referenced, where you're going to be actually inviting specific people to attend in those other options. It also means that with Facebook Live that the person who is actually broadcasting live on Facebook Live will need to be a content contributor or an editor to the page or profile that you're on. One example that I'll give you related to that is you're likely going to want to use your unit's Facebook page because if you use a personal profile, you'd be broadcasting to all of your personal friends and family members and maybe not the audience that you want for something scouting specific. If you use a unit Facebook page, just be mindful that anybody can tune in unless you change some of the settings on there. So there are some privacy settings with Facebook Live that can restrict the audience. In general, if you do want to limit this, a best practice is one that we actually shared at Scouting U, and that is to create a private group within your unit's Facebook page where you can invite specific unit members to join in the group, and then everybody in that group is private. You can then broadcast only to the members of that group by clicking live video where you would normally post something to the group. You can also broadcast only to members of that group, which I mentioned. There's plenty of tutorials online specifically for Facebook, so I will stop there for this evening. But just make sure that whether it's Facebook Live that you're using or any of the tools that I referenced above, that you familiarize yourself with those before conducting a meeting. Maybe practice a few times before you launch something that's live. So how might you use some of these tools? To conduct a meeting would be a great example. You could even share your screen with those who are participating. So maybe you could do a virtual online tour, or you might show a fun activity to some scouts who are on there with their families at the same time. Michael Stammet is actually going to come up right after me, and he's going to share with you a few of the tools and resources we've already put together that you might be able to utilize. But first, I do want to make sure that I share some of the rules and guidelines. Bryce just touched on this a moment ago when it comes to digital content. So to help ensure that all communication on social media channels remains both positive and safe, there's a few important guidelines to remember and review. We've posted all of these on the virtual Roundtable webpage that you use to initially log in here under the resource section, and they're also going to be on Scouting at Home, the Scouting at Home webpage as well. So first and foremost, everybody should make sure to review and strictly adhere to the terms of service and existing guidelines that are outlined by each social media channel. So Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, all of those, they have their own guidelines. Let's make sure that we're adhering to those. And as is true for participation in any scouting activities, our scouts and leaders should abide by the guidelines outlined in the Scout Oath and the Scout Law anytime you're participating in social media. It's important that social media communication is not private. That's probably the most important piece of this. So abiding by Too Deep leadership policy that governs all scouting activities also applies to the use of social media. As it relates to social media, Too Deep leadership means that there should be no private messages, no one-on-one direct chat, no through email, Facebook messages, Twitter direct messaging, chats, instant messaging, Google Messenger, any of those. You always need to make sure that there are at least multiple adults included on the communication or openly copied on the message or message thread. So that's really important to remember. It's also important that any Scout units that plan to use social media, that they should share some internet safety guidelines with all of their Scouts, their parents, and leaders, and that all Scouts should abide by and follow internet safety guidelines for personal protection, and a bunch of those are highlighted in CyberChip as well. One example of that is to make sure that you look at your privacy settings on, for example, your Facebook page or your groups, just so that we make sure that we're protecting any personal information that might be out there. Again, we've posted all of the internet safety guidelines as well to both the resource section for this roundtable and also our Scouting at Home page. So there are tons of really good tools and resources available for you out there. I hope that you're able to take advantage of those. And at this point, I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Michael Stammet, who's going to take you through some of the activities and resources that we've already created for you.
Excellent. Hey, thanks very much, Ken. I appreciate it. And good evening to you all, folks. Nice to see you. And I'd like to send special salutations to you all from camp. Camp is lonesome. It's unfortunate that more people can't be out here, but until such time as camps are back open, just like many of your schools and businesses, we wanted to touch base with you and give you a little update on some of the Scouting at Home videos that we've been putting out. Now, this is a push from our national office with this great hashtag Scouting at Home, and we have started doing these Scouting at Home video series. They come out on weekdays at 10:30, and they feature all kinds of scouts and scouters, your program team, folks around camp who have all kinds of fun things to share with you. It can be anything from activities you can do at home, some how-to knowledge, indoor and outdoor, a series of games sometimes, or even especially outdoor flavored like backyard adventures that can be enjoyed a few scouts or by the whole family. It's important that you all know that scouting continues and that scouting can be enjoyed anywhere, even from the comfort of your screens. This is cool. It's a really neat thing. Now, one piece that I wanted to tell you all about, especially for the Cub parents, the Cubs, the leaders, is one of the best of the videos we've put out so far is just to share a series of 30-day Cub challenges that got released by some friends of ours from another council. There is a separate challenge for each Cub rank. That way, if you've got several Cubs in several ranks, or you're just curious what they all look like, these are phenomenal, and especially nice since they, won't chew up your entire afternoon, and they are very nicely tailored to hold the attention of a Cub Scout. You should totally check them out. Now, these are all available on the website at danbeard.org, and you can see all of the videos that we'll be releasing on weekdays at the Scouting at Home section of our website. So please take a look. Finally, we wanted to let you know that we've been listening to a lot of your feedback, and that as much as you're enjoying the scouting videos at home, we're certainly hoping to make more of them, but you all want to get involved. We're getting requests already from Cubs, from Venture Scouts, from Scout Troops saying, we want to help. Can we please do some submissions? Absolutely is our answer to you. So we are announcing right now, very happy to, that Scouts and leaders can now post your own scouting videos and scouting at home videos and share with us and with all of you. And here's how we want you to do it. If you look on danbeard.org at the website, you'll see a sign-up genius that Scouts can sign up to make a video on a certain skill or a knowledge base, whatever you'd like. You can sign up and we'll go from there. Any video will do, but most can be accomplished in just a few minutes, so there's no need to overcomplicate things. I know all about brevity. It's one of my strong suits. So you should shoot them on your phone or your camera, just whatever's there and appropriate. And please, just remember, keep it simple if at all possible. Scouts need to get permission from your parent or guardian before accessing, the internet and starting to do a bunch of recording. And you need to acknowledge that permission using an online form. Again, on the website, it's right there. So once the form is submitted, then you'll get to a series of instructions on how to submit the video and what that process looks like. This is going to be very exciting. So if you're so inclined, go ahead and jump on that, talk with the other Scouts in your troop, in your pack, in your crew, speak with your parents and leaders, and start throwing some cool ideas around. We've got several nice submissions already. And once everything's said and done, look for us to share it from there on the Scouting at Home webpage that's here on the danbeard.org site. Very cool stuff. Hope you all enjoy it. We'll move on now to some camping updates. Y'all take care.
Well, needless to say, with the shelter in place that has presently been ordered, I'm sure we were all looking forward to the day when we can get back to scouting as usual and getting back to camping. Needless to say, we are currently planning for all of the Danbeard Council summer camp program to go on as scheduled. We are busy, business as usual, hiring staff, we're planning the program. So with that, please make sure to continue to promote summer camp to all your Scouts. We are with any luck, and we're hoping it'll be all a go come this summer. We're really looking forward to it. We've got some promotional videos that we're creating that you'll be able to share with your troops, or actually staff can even participate in a camp promotion video meeting for your packer troop, just like we're doing in here virtually. Our Cub World and Community Day Camp staffs are really excited about the program and the theme this year, which is Enchanted Kingdoms. They're ready to deliver a really incredible experience for our young Cub Scouts. If anybody had attended any of the or seen any of the kickoff meetings, there's a lot of energy behind our Cub Scout camping this year, and so we're looking for a really good turnout and a really good year. At Camp Friedlander, we have some very exciting news to share about some new programs. The one you'll see, and it's going to be hard to miss, is when you visit the lake this year, we have a brand new feature which you're going to want to check out. We'll have a floating climbing feature called an iceberg. It stands almost 14 feet tall above the water. It looks like a huge iceberg. You can climb up the side and you can slide down. It's really, really cool, and the Scouts are going to love it. Also new this year at Friedlander is our Merit Badge Trek option. This daytime camping option allows Scouts to participate in all the programs at camp during the day but still be available for other commitments they may have through the week. We know scouts and all youth these days are pulled in a million directions and have a lot of activities. So this allows them the opportunity to still participate in scouting, yet balance out with some of their other activities. This will include all of our merit badges, the Trailblazer program, ACE, or any of the other open programs. Also wanted to make you aware, once again, because of the coronavirus, is several extensions and accommodations we've made to payment deadlines with respect to camp and camp deposits. Needless to say, we understand that this has thrown a wrench in a lot of people's daily lives, so we've tried to accommodate accordingly. First, the free slushy deadline, which is, I would argue, is probably the one of the biggest ones for the scouts, will be extended from March 31st to April 20th. A PAC's estimated number of participants for Cub World unit registration will reserve space in a camp session until April 20th, after which only registered participants will reserve space. The campership application due date has been extended to May 1st. The increased fees for late camp registration will be extended to begin on May 16th. Camp Friedlander, Cub World, and Community Day Camp final payment due dates have been extended to May 15th. Units selling camp cards will have an extension to June 8th. Finally, down payments for camp registrations have been eliminated, meaning that scouts can register for camp without making any down payment and can pay in full by May 15th. We hope this makes it a little easier for our families to plan in these fairly uncertain circumstances. But again, please make sure to promote camp within your unit as much as you can. As a way to hopefully to help you promote, we are announcing a camp at home campsite contest, which is kind of fun. I know everybody has a lot of scouts that are cooped inside, and so this is a fun activity for everybody. Scouts are encouraged to create a campsite in their living room or in their backyard and to take a picture of it and share the photo with us on social media and tag us with the @DanBairdCouncil tag. The most creative and original campsite will win some cool prizes. So encourage your scouts to do that. We hope you're all getting excited to come out to camp this summer. I know we are. In the meantime, let's keep scouting at home. And with that, I'm going to turn it over to Joe Waller.
All right, a few general announcements. So regarding ordering camp supplies online, as we're all working on scouting at home and preparing for summer camp, the Scout Shop can still provide support for our units. You can visit the online store at www.scoutshop.org to order Scout supplies and view offerings. Regarding tools on our website and Dan Baird's Council social media, we're continually posting new tools, resources, and information to our website and our social media channels every day. Encourage your units to check these out. From the homepage, there are buttons directly to any coronavirus messages or updates from the council, and to the scouting at home resources that Ken and Stammet talked about earlier on the call. From there, you will also see that we're currently tracking council and district events that have been postponed and are providing updates to those events as details become available. The scouting at home page really serves as a hub of resources for you, and that helps point you to the resources you need, from advancement to fun activities and more. We'll also continue to post these daily on our Facebook page and other social media platforms. So you may wonder how to contact our Dan Baird Council staff. Our staff are working remotely and they're still available to provide the support you need. Please contact them by phone or email, and their contact information is on danbeard.org or by following the contact information listed in the district newsletters. For general inquiries or a listing of all council staff, please visit us at www.danbeard.org/contact-us. Finally, a camp card update. One activity I'd like to touch on is the camp card sale, because I know many of you count on this fundraiser to help fund your scouting year. As was shared in our announcement last week, we've extended the camp card sale until June 1st to allow a few more weekends for the sale. As things change, we will continually reevaluate and consider additional extensions beyond that date. Obviously, none of us knows quite how long this will last, so my best advice to units right now is to have your scouts trained up and everything in place so that you're ready to start when the time comes. I know most of our units already have the cards in hand, but for a few of the units who have not had a chance to pick them up, we'll keep them at the Scout Achievement Center for you until an appropriate time to pick them up in the future. As always, we will keep you updated as things progress. Next up is our Scout Executive, Andy Zahn.
Thank you, Joe. It is such an honor to serve as your new Scout Executive. My family and I are so excited to be back with the Dan Beard Council and to rejoin the greater Cincinnati region. While I wish we were able to meet today in person, I am so grateful that we are able to meet virtually as we talk about our continued partnership to impact the lives of youth in our community. For generations, the Dan Beard Council has had the reputation of being one of the strongest Scout councils in the Boy Scouts of America, a reputation that we continue to have today. As we work through our current public health situation, it is so important that we continue our work to attract and retain the enthusiasm of our youth members, their families, and our adult volunteer leaders. As you've heard today, our staff and council leaders have been hard at work to ensure that the Scouting Adventure can virtually continue for the over 20,000 youth who participate in the Dan Beard Council. I look forward to seeing you in person very soon. Until then, thank you for your continued leadership. I hope that you agree that scouting is needed today more than ever before. I'd like to now reintroduce you to Joe Waller, our Council Commissioner. Joe?
Thank you, Andy. Thanks everybody for tuning in. Be healthy and stay safe.